KQ Comics, teaching and learning tool to be used by guidance counselors for children aged 8 to 12 years. Entitled The Tribe, Break the Silence. Created by KQC Enterprises under the brand KQ Comics. Funded by the Caribbean Development Bank under the BNTF 7 Fund. And administered by the Jamaica Social Investment Fund. Collaborating agencies: the Child Development Agency, the Ministry of Education, UNICEF Jamaica, and several other resource persons. This package was designed to address the need to speak directly to children in an engaging way, teaching them how to identify child sexual abuse. What is child sexual abuse? Sexual relations with a child under 16 years old is illegal. How to respond to child sexual abuse. What to do in the moment of an attack? Scream, run, and tell. Report sexual abuse. Where to go to get help? Tell a trusted adult and keep telling until you get help. Before conducting a reading, you must read through the teacher's guide and the important notes to guidance counselors and teachers and the links to HFLE curriculum scope and sequence found on the second page of the Big Book. Plan your lesson using the lesson points, discussion points, and most importantly, the intervention instructions provided in the teacher's guide. Use the helplines found on page 12 of the teacher's guide if necessary to assist any child you suspect to have been abused. Familiarize yourself with the glossary of terms and access the additional resources found on pages 13 to 17.
If you're scared and you need someone to turn to, they're prepared and they'll find a way to help you.
Creating the environment. Where possible, arrange chairs so the students sit in a U shape. Desks are not necessary. It is important that the children can speak directly to each other. Introduce the book and CD. Explain you understand that the topic is an uncomfortable one, but it is meant to help young people understand the power they have in dealing with child sexual abuse. Be clear and bold when using the terms. The teacher cannot seem apprehensive about the topic. Explain that you will be listening and reading and then discussing. Make it clear that there are no wrong answers. Have them repeat this loudly. This whole exercise is for the children to develop a voice. Encourage them to speak clearly when they answer or comment. Try to keep the mood light and fun. Using the Big Book, Teacher's Guide, and CD. You can use the hard covers of the book to stand the book up on its own. During discussion points, you can also use a paper clip to fasten a page open to the hard cover to keep the discussion points page open, allowing you to walk around the room to interact with the children. Once you have loaded the CD into the computer, it will appear as 2 CDs. An audio CD, where the tracks are 1. Act 1, 2. Mid-story discussion points, 3. Act 2, 4. End of story discussion points, 5. The Tribe song, 6. Break the Silence song, and 7. Scream, Run, and Tell song. The Tribe Break the Silence videos on the CD are the Tribe Break the Silence Stills video and the Tribe Break the Silence Sign Language, which is a video with sign language inset. Simply double-click the desired file. Play the CD and go through the first half of the book. While going through the story, pay close attention to each of the children. You may identify a child in need of help or who should be referred to the guidance counselor. Mid-story discussion points. Remind the children that there are no wrong answers and to speak out clearly. Ask each question in turn, clarifying the question as and if necessary. Allow the children to drive the conversation. Have them comment on each other's answers. Guide the discussion in a way that the teacher speaks as little as possible, but not to be silent. Always remember that the purpose of the lesson is to guide the children to become comfortable speaking about child sexual abuse. If the children miss a key response, try to guide them towards it. If not, provide it. Key responses mid-story. Number 3. What is child sexual abuse? Fondling, grooming, intercourse, pornography, incest, prostitution. Acts of a sexual nature with anyone under the age of 16. Number 4. How can sexual abuse harm you? Disease, injury, pregnancy, psychological problems. Number 6. How do your parents protect you? Checking program ratings, changing the channel, turning off the device, deleting harmful content, blocking websites. Have them applaud their parents and encourage them to thank their parents for protecting them, because parents need encouragement too. Number 7. What is a trusted adult? Someone who will listen and always help protect me. Parent or guardian or other relative, a teacher or a guidance counselor. Have them raise one hand if they have a trusted adult and keep it up, and the other hand if they have more than one. Ask why it is important to have more than one trusted adult. Have them applaud their trusted adults and encourage them to thank their trusted adults. Number 8. Keeping secrets. The abuse will continue. The abuser will get away with it, and they don't deserve to, and may do it again to someone else. Continued suffering of the victim or victims. The second act. If you're presenting the second act of the book in a separate session, discuss the first half of the book briefly, using the mid-story discussion points as a guide if necessary before continuing. Ask what they think will happen next. Once you have done this, play the CD and go through the second half of the book. While going through the story, and particularly during the attack scene, pay close attention to each of the children. You may identify someone in need of help or who should be referred to the guidance counselor. End of story discussion. Go through the end of story discussion. Remember to let the children drive the discussion and remind them that there are no wrong answers. Guide the discussion in a way that the teacher speaks as little as possible, allowing every child a chance to respond, so that the children become comfortable speaking about child sexual abuse. After going through the end of story discussion points, revisit the mid-story discussion points. Have the students role play or rehearse the scream, run and tell instruction and the helpline for reporting child sexual abuse, 1-888-PROTECT. Intervention. If a child reports having been sexually abused, follow the instructions stated in the teacher's guide for conducting an intervention. Remember, the law gives you a duty of care to act on any suspicion of abuse against a child. To call the helpline for reporting child sexual abuse, 1-888-PROTECT. Also refer to the list of resource centers at the back of the big book.
If you're scared and you need someone to turn to, they're prepared and they'll find a way to help you. If you're feeling all alone, a little helpless, they're here to take away